Well, good evening from Erie, Pennsylvania. My name is Phil Kerner. I'm the Tool and Die Guy online, and it's Friday, May 16th, and end of a long work week here. We're done, and wanted to catch you guys up with a little bit what's going on the upcoming training. I just released a new few videos on Bridgeport training, and I mistakenly probably should have called that basic milling and advanced milling techniques, but I chose to use a Bridgeport on it. Now, I'm very well aware of the fact there are hundreds of hours of Bridgeport training online on YouTube, and they're excellent. But a lot of people wrote me and they wanted my take as a mold maker on Bridgeport. So I really thought about this. Well, I launched a few videos and I got a few emails as per normal. And one guy, Rich in Idaho, gave me a really good scathing review about Bridgeports. And he says, you're kind of a master at this. We've all moved on to 5-axis machines. Why are you screwing around with this? But it was tongue-in-cheek. He was very funny about it. He's basically said, what's next? Polaroid cameras? Rich, you bet. Polaroids are next, and right after that, I'm going to teach you guys how to play Twister. Then I got, like 20 minutes later, an email from some guy that said, thank you so much for this. I've had this Bridgeport sitting there in the corner of my garage for so many years and didn't know what to do with it. At least I can start now. So there's a hierarchy to learning in this trade. The reason you guys subscribe or buy the membership or listen to my free stuff on YouTube is because you want my old world experience. Now, I am lucky enough to kind of go both ways here. I run a CNC machine at work all day, which I love, and I really don't ever want to go back to running a Bridgeport. But learning a manual machine is a fantastic way to get a feel for your work. So just in this lesson, the few lessons I did this week, yeah, we trammed ahead, whatever, there's 1,000 lessons on that, but here's how I do it. But then I tipped ahead of 5 degrees and showed you guys how to do it precisely, not kind of 5 degrees, but really 5 degrees. And I did a quick search on YouTube. I couldn't find anything on that. There's plenty of videos on how to tram a Bridgeport head, but not how to tip one at a precise angle. Now, you can email me back and say, oh my God, you missed those 10. I don't sit here poring over the internet looking for that. I just did a quick search and went through all 3 pages, the first 3 pages of results, and didn't see anything. So I think I'm on solid ground there. But what I want to tell you guys is, again, back to the hierarchy of learning. Everything works together. And when you learn to tip things and feel those knobs and touch those things and set that angle and use that indicator, it's going to be so much easier when you move on to more expensive CNC equipment. The stuff you guys, I believe, want to learn from me is my experience. And believe me, I'm not a huge Bridgeport fan. I really don't like running them, but they built this country. I mean, every tool room for the last 100 years had 5 or 10 or 20, 100 Bridgeports in their arsenal. So the Bridgeports were a great machine. And that's where you learn how to get a feel for milling, how to get a good finish, how to tip your head at angles, how to measure your angles. All that math and all those skills are the things you guys want to learn, I believe, from an old guy like me that did this stuff. And it all transfers beautifully to the CNC department because you've got the mechanics now in your head. And okay, I can replicate this quite easily now on a machine that just does what I tell it to do. But once you do it manually, you've got the basics now. So I always believe you've got to kind of walk before you can run. And believe me, I think for all you guys who might be a little snobby about the Bridgeports, and I am a Bridgeport snob also, I'd rather not run one. It gives me an opportunity to sit in front of you with basic milling techniques and basic hold down techniques and basic setup techniques that you can't always see in a CNC machine because they're so fast and so easy. But all those years of knowledge is what you guys want to see and pay for. It comes back to fruition on a Bridgeport because that's where I learned. And it'll be interesting to see now that with the benefit of 20 years of CNCs behind me to go back to the Bridgeports and think a little differently. So it all works together. All these things work together. The grinding classes, the cutter grinding, the fitting, it all works together. And the ability to tip ahead on a Bridgeport at a precise angle will serve you well on a grinder, on a mill, on a a cutter grinder, angles, all that math, everything, it all works together. So what I'm trying to share with you guys is that almost 40 years experience I have in the trade, and again, um, give me a kid for 6 months in the manual machine area and a little milling and grinding, he will be a tremendous asset in the CNC department or the design department after that. He just needs to understand how things work. So that's what I'm trying to explain in this class. So it's not a Bridgeport class. Everybody needs to chill out. And if you'd like to get more of that, my thoughts on milling and believe me, my forte is in milling and milling 3D cavities, milling production parts. I can grind, I can turn, but everybody has a specialty, and mine has always been milling and setup. So that's what this class really is. It's more of a master class in basic and advanced milling techniques. I just happen to right now be using a Bridgeport to give you my mindset. So we will see you, hopefully, in the tool room at the Tool and Die Guy site. I'm Phil Kerner, and have a great weekend, and we'll see you in the tool room.